Hello, guys. I am Shane Davis, 20-year comic book veteran, and I'm here today. I guess this will be the follow-up video to the other videos we had done with the Ed Piskor stuff. And in the previous videos, I stressed that, and you guys can go back and look at those, that the problem with cancel culture is it's kind of unchecked. It moves at a rapid speed, whatever tweet any asshole can put out there, basically. And, it kind of skips any type of judicial system and goes right to just hurting the person where it can hurt the most and trying to destroy their livelihood. It came to everyone's knowledge, and this has been reported on by the family, that Ed Piskor has passed away. This is basically what seems to be like a week. Passed away at the age of 41.
So this Ed Piskor situation is very tragic. It appeared that he left sort of like a last word and testament kind of thing on his Facebook, and that's how people knew that he was going to seek some rather drastic measures. And with that said, so this caused his family to go into an uproar. And quite unfortunately, well, he was found dead, I'm going to assume, by his own family. And the news broke this afternoon at about 4 o'clock or so. So the interesting thing is that why you have people like Comics Beat very eager to write up, yeah, all these women are coming forward to say, Ed Piskor, you are guilty of grooming me. So far, only one outlet has picked up on the news that he has passed away, pretty much, in the comic book arena. Now, his own local news and all that has picked it up too, which is, well, they kind of harassed him too in a way. Didn't they go knocking on his parents' doors when he refused to answer his own door?
Right. This was due to a gallery shutting down that was supposed to be showcasing his artwork. So I guess the news felt like that was a slow news day. No cat up a tree. Let's talk about this artist getting kind of Me Too'd on the internet, and a gallery shutting down. At the time when we did our first video, I was unaware of the gallery showing. And one of my questions is why is this person taking issue with Ed and his comments now? Then we found out because he had a gallery showing that just got shut down. That led to a reporter at his door and him being on the local news, and ending with them, basically the reporter and the news network, doxing his parents as they went to his parents' doorstep, and you could see their house number and stuff. So I really feel for his family in all of this. And this is the age of the internet, right? Where people, for sport or for reasons, I'm not going to get into the accusations of any of this, but people like to try to take each other down. That is, people are bored and they're on social media. Maybe they can get some clout, some extra followings, if they find somebody who has a bigger audience and tries to take them down, right?
Well, in the past, this used to be called a digital lynch mob. In more recent terms, it's been changed to be called cancel culture. And that's when everybody bands together to make sure you cannot continue your livelihood. Now, a personal boycott is when you say, okay, I'm not going to drink any more Starbucks. No harm, no foul. You're just saying, I'm not opening my wallet to Starbucks. But if you decide to go and tell everyone on your street, hey, you can't drink Starbucks, and you make them all sign petitions and boycott Starbucks and all that, well, then that becomes cancel culture in a way. So, Axcend can be here as trying to magnify the whole grooming aspect again of all these young women who go up to all these powerful male comic creators trying to rub off on some of their charm or something, I guess. This sounds very familiar to the whole Warren Ellis situation, by the way. So actually now I want to quickly point out one thing though. Why is internet mob culture the preferred method for taking out all these people for their alleged crimes? Well, because in the case of Warren Ellis, all these women in their 20s all came forward and said, oh, he groomed me. I thought he only loved me. And when he was eventually looked at from a judicial point of view, they found him innocent. Same thing with Chris Hardwick. His girlfriend claimed abuse. And when AMC looked into his history and they were like, yeah, no, there was no abuse. By then, the digital lynch mob has done their job. But here's the crucial part. What these companies did when they actually ran through the judicial system is that they realized, oh, these guys are innocent. Now we can't have that, can we? I mean, these girls that they accuse Ed Piskor of grooming them, they're all legal women. So if he did actually go through the judicial system, it would turn out that, oops, he's innocent. He didn't actually groom anyone because they're not underage. So they have to enact their own mob justice to get him cancelled. And Axcend is the number one culprit, named by name in Ed Piskor's final letter. Now, another culprit of the whole Ed Piskor situation is Daryl Ayo, claiming that Ed Piskor was running an alt account on Twitter to play games and claims of innocence for him against what this girl was doing. And Alexis Campbell, of course, ran with this whole narrative saying, oh my gosh, look, he has a suck account that is following Ethan Van Sciver and Elon Musk and Babylon B. Oh my gosh, Ed Piskor is an odd person. Even though Ed Piskor is oddly enough always been on their side, but hey, whatever.
Right. And this is done to seek more people to attack Ed, people that don't like Ethan Van Sciver. I mean, this is to incite a dog pile, if you will, on top of him. There's the only reason to do that.
And of course, in the end, unfortunately, after Ed Piskor passed away, this is the account that they claim is the alt for Ed Piskor. Yeah, he was retweeting 6 hours ago. 6 hours ago. So, you know, I guess he actually really is Ed Piskor's alt account. Wow, guys, great detective work, y'all.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, once the demise of Ed Piskor became public, well, SJWs got the SJW and they got to start running all these protection records for their people. So, Renfrew says anyone in the comic space right now using the phrase mob mentality is not a safe person and everyone should be taking note. Yeah, Renfrew, you kind of sort of led the mob. So, of course, you're going to say anyone who says that is a bad person.
In a weird way, this is the most disgusting part of it. When there could be actual blame of somebody's life being taken and before they should, or them pushed to a point of that. And their last letter is naming some of these people. You'll start to see this network start to try to form a defense for themselves. And that's to say, hey, anybody saying we're a mob, you have to take note of that person because we're the innocent ones here. We were only trying to gang up and accuse people of alt accounts and then say that alt account is following this person. Therefore, let's sick more people on Ed and let's ratchet it up. And you have to go like, what was the end goal here? Like to cancel him, to watch his YouTube go down, to him lose his Patreon. You're talking about a guy who wasn't really depending on Marvel Comics to do work. I mean, he was doing fairly well with his YouTube channel and Patreon and things like that. And, you know, these guys may or may not dabble in crowdfunding books, all of that stuff, indie scene, all of that. This sport caught up with them of cancel culture. And it confuses me at this point. Like, I mean, what was the point of trying to cancel people? Was it to get somebody to like eventually not just lose their livelihood? I mean, but what could they lose after their livelihood? Here's another person, you know, with again, the victim blaming needs to stop. I mean, what?
And of course, another one, in no way should any of the people victimized by Piskor be held accountable for Piskor's action. So they're basically saying, I'm sorry I drove you to suicide, but I'm not responsible. Nice. Nice. All right, guys, this is the playbook, you see. They're going to drive you down to the point whereby you have no other alternative. You see no other hope except to take your own life. And when it happens, they're going to say, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for that to happen, but don't blame me.
The weird part about this, I will not tolerate any victim blaming. Well, this is depending on what end of the telescope you're looking at. If you're looking at this whole cancel culture thing, right? The way the internet catches fire and everybody wants to be a vigilante, right? You're all reading your superhero books. You think you can just take justice into your own hands without even really knowing the full story on anything. Everybody's jumping and chomping at the bit to cancel Ed. And I don't even know how deep this goes. I don't even know, is there more stuff out there with Ed? Like, you know, when reporters approached the girl, she didn't really, she was like, I got nothing to say. Okay, well, was there more or was that it? You know, we'll never know. But everybody had to keep knocking on Ed and ratcheting it up and just not let it die down, just not let it to the point like, you know, his co-host basically, you know, separated from him.
In Jim Rock's own words, he decided to end his working relationship with Ed Piskor over these allegations. Now, you might think, wow, this is one roller coaster ride, Shane and Yanzi. How long did this happen for? Well, guys, all these from the first allegations coming up to when Ed Piskor took his life, 1 week. 1 week. That is the power of mob mentality, aka cancel culture.
So how long does it take for cancel culture to run its course? It depends on the person being canceled, their will to survive. I don't want to say that this can always happen in 1 week. Maybe it happens in 1 day. Maybe it happens in 48 hours. It really depends on the person and how much they feel like they can take. I really need to stress this with Ed. Looking at it, a lot of his career was based off of his YouTube channel. Okay, so it wasn't like it was like, oh, he's going to get canceled from Marvel and DC. That sucks. No, it was going to his, what I would call his independent work. Somehow people were getting him canceled from his art show. They were getting his YouTube channel was basically stalling and his co-host distancing himself. Like, where was he going to go from here? You guys cut him to the bone, and then you're going to go like, this was his own actions, was it? I mean, did you guys make everybody distance themselves from him and not want to support him, and that was his own action, or was all of that an action from the left? I mean, this was obviously, when you guys go to cancel somebody, you are trying to rip and strip them of any type of livelihood whatsoever. That's the point of canceling somebody. That's why you guys do it. It's not so they'll have a nice retirement fund. It's so they hit poverty, so they can't work again. You salt the earth. You spread their name and whatever you want to say all over the internet. Why do you do that? For people to read, so people have a negative reaction to them. That's what cancel culture is. And to say, this is his choice. No, 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 no. I mean, in the end, sure, but you guys
Who
led
drove
into
him?
this.
Who drove him to
Drove
that
him
point?
to it.
Just want to end on this note, and that is that, guys, no matter how bad things are, please do not consider doing something where there is no way to come back from it. Please reach out to loved ones. If you feel like the cancel mob is coming in and closing on you too hard, take a social media break, go to your family, and maybe just like the Warren Ellis and Chris Hardwick situation, maybe somebody will actually come in and say, yeah, we need to get this looked at seriously through the justice system. And hopefully you'll be cleared from whatever crimes you allegedly committed, which in this case is grooming 17-year-old girls, which is legal in the age of Pennsylvania. I mean, obviously it's a bit sleazy to be doing that when you're in your 30s and 40s with a 17-year-old girl, but it's not a crime.
If Ed did anything wrong, and I don't know, and I don't even really want to talk about it, but if anybody does anything wrong in that sense, I think it should be handled by the judicial system. I don't think it should be handled by people with phones in their hands and opinions and looking for clout by canceling somebody in the same field as them. Those people have an incentive to cancel somebody for clout and power. That is cancel culture. Okay. I don't know if any of these people were the right people to deal with this. They probably weren't. The mainstream media, comic media, anyways, you really won't see them talk about this unless it's to throw Ed up under a bus. The people he's named, they should really feel shame right now, and maybe even really reflect on your tweets and actions and say what your role in this was. In his letter, he obviously is pointing out people that they had a hand in on this. I want to leave this video with something that was said in Twitter today, an interaction I had with somebody. They said, hopefully this will bring to light cancel culture and it will kind of make people think twice about it or change things about cancel culture. And I said, or bring an end to cancel culture. And my response is, I don't think cancel culture will ever see the end of it. I think the only thing that you can do with cancel culture is observe it and document it. I don't think you can combat it. I think it's a thing that comes along with social media. I think as long as companies and organizations and even just normal people go along with somebody trying to cancel somebody, cancel culture will be here to stay. I'm more pessimistic on this. I actually think what happened here could lead to more people being canceled, because there are psychos on the internet that would drive somebody in a field that they want to work in to a point of self-termination, that they would get off on that. And that this type of thing will, I mean, I hate to say it, could incentivize people to troll people harder. I think about this in the same way as people swatting people. It'll become a thing. Now, the only thing you can do if you're watching this is maybe think twice before participating in somebody trying to cancel somebody. Maybe saying, maybe just let the proper authorities deal with things. If anything's even wrong happened, I'm not going to be part of a digital lynch mob, or I'm not going to help a digital lynch mob by retweeting them. If you guys will hit like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. This has not been the type of video I wanted to do today, but I felt like it was necessary. And I'll catch you guys again with another video.